We love you, Bud Mercer.
Hi, welcome to Brad TV. I'm on tour now with Bud Mercer, author, performer, vaudevillian, all-around performer. Not only that, Bud Mercer is my uncle. You would remember him with the Palm Springs Follies and his brother, the Fabulous Mercer Brothers. They were on the Follies 11 seasons. I've had a chance now to sit down and talk to my uncle. I haven't seen him in a long time. He's been on tour with his book. Bud, welcome to Brad TV.
Thank you. Very glad to be here.
I always think of one thing you told me a long time ago. It takes you 20 years to learn how to walk on stage. That's right. Bud, I'm finding that out.
Well, it takes about that long, even longer for some people to get on the stage and work from within themselves out without letting the audience bother their work.
You know, Bud, I'm looking at you right now, and you have not changed. You've gotten wiser. You know, I feel like I've digressed a little bit, but but I'll tell you what, Bud is 96 years young, and you're going to be 97 in September. Am I right?
You're right. Only 3 years to go.
What a party that's going to be.
Oh, you bet.
Now, let's go back a few years.
Okay.
Let's talk about Yvonne DiCarlo. When did you meet her?
I met her back in 1941. She was just getting into motion pictures. I didn't have a big part like she learned to get, but she was tap dancing, and they had cut the music for it, and it was a 4 bars short. She couldn't figure it out. So I said, well, listen to me just a minute, Yvonne. Think of taking that third step and cutting out the last 2 steps. That'll take the 4 bars out, and it'll be perfect. She said, are you sure? I said, try it. So she did. I knew what the music had to be, so I told them. That was it. Most of the movies I was in were as a dancer, and some of them I did a couple of bit parts. I never became a star in motion pictures like you're becoming. But I wish you the greatest luck in getting ahead. You're still young enough, got a lot of years ahead of you.
Bud, you were a big part of my life. I learned so much from you and my father, Jim. What are some of the moments that you remember that stick in your mind that were, funny?
Well, Jim was always bringing up those moments. Jim was a great, great improviser. He worked from his head as far as jokes go. But boy, when he came up, we were playing the banjos, and we needed a gag because we don't play that much banjo, but always pretty good. And he came up with a real good one. I said, the audience wants us to do the big hit with the guitar and the banjo.
Yeah, dueling banjos.
Dueling banjos. He says, what? I said, dueling banjos. He says, I don't know it. Oh, I said, you've heard it, but all you have to do is when I go on the banjo, yat-da-da-da-da, then you go, yat-da-da-da-da. Okay. So I played the banjo, yat-da-da-da-da. He said, yat-da-da-da-da. I said, no, on the banjo, stupid. Okay. Now I played the banjo, yat-da-da-da-da. He goes, yat-da-da-da-da, on the banjo, stupid. He just carried. Jim was a great improviser.
You guys worked together for, was it like 70 years as dancers?
71.
Wow.
We started as dancers, got to, the agent said, well, if you throw a little talk in there, I can get you more money. Bingo.
Now, you've been on tour with your book. What's the name of the book?
Tripping the Light Fantastic.
How long did it take you to write that, Bud?
About 2 or 3 years, I can't remember which, because my family had to help me. And we finally got it written, and it's quite a well-written book.
And you know, you've got a great website, too. What is that website?
BudMercer.com.
Go to budmercer.com, and can they buy your book off the website as well?
Yes, they can. They can buy it off the website. We have a box, and they can call in or mail in a request and get a book.
And you know, your son, my cousin, Buddy, big part of this, too, working with you on the book.
Yes, he is. He's been a great help to me in making DVDs and so forth that we can give with the book.
In your travels, when you were on the road with, like, Buster Crabbe, does that ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Buster thought he was quite the guy. And he had us doing a vaudeville act on stage.
Now, to our audience here, Buster Crabbe was also a Tarzan, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He wasn't the first one, but he was one of them.
Johnny Weissmuller, Buster Crabbe, Buddy Mercer.
By the way, the chimp they had is still living.
No kidding.
Yeah. He's about 74 years old.
Cheetah, right?
Cheetah, yeah. And he's right here in Palm Springs.
Your travels that you've done all over, you've been in Vaudeville, you've worked Las Vegas, you worked with Martin and Lewis, you've been everywhere. All this we can read about in your book, am I right?
That is right, with pictures to go along.
Where else can we get this book, Bud?
Right here.
budmercer.com. Tripping the Light Fantastic. Hey, can we see the book? Why don't you bring the book over here? And here's the book, Tripping the Light Fantastic. Get a good shot of that.
Got it.
A shot with Bud Mercer and Jim Mercer. That is a famous shot, isn't it?
That is a famous shot. And the photographer that took it really did a good job. He made us look real high in the air, just stranded in here.
Bud, thank you so much for being a part of Brad TV. I could talk to you for days about this, but I know you're busy. You've got a book signing to do, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, I sure thank you, Brad, for bringing me into your show, because that'll make me start all over again.
Bud Mercer on Brad TV.